Alright, got the engine block prepped. While I had it down, I cleaned all the pistons, all the carbon off the pistons. And had a couple of ridges, not too bad though. So I wanted to knock those down with some emery cloth and then prep the top of the block, with some emery cloth and Scotch-Brite pads. And then cleaned it down with a solvent cleaner to make sure everything's dry. Ready to stick the factory OEM head gasket on here, throw the head on, and start torquing some bolts. Alright, new gasket on, let's go down with the head. Or let's go, yeah, let's put the head on. Well, here it is. I've got everything back together, got it all torqued down. One thing I'm going to do is these 4 bolts here. I was getting ready to put the oil pump tensioner on down there, and I realized, checking things over one more time, that somehow or another my chain for the cams got off by 1 tooth. Right there. Crap. So now I have to loosen the 2 guides for the cam chain and see if I can't get enough slack, enough tension, or leave enough tension to move this over and jump at 1 tooth. That's going to be fun. I do not want to take this thing back apart. Everything else is okay. A balancing shaft is still lined up correctly, but awesome. Okay, got timing chain issue solved. See right there, I've got intake lined up with the mark, exhaust lined up with the mark, and down here to the crankshaft, and hard to see, it's dark in here of course. Light lined up with the mark. So we're good to go. That was a huge pain in the ass. Got the mark lined up on the bottom, and when I did that, these 2 camshafts try to fight each other. They both want to pull in once you get them timed, and the adjusters off, or the locking mechanisms off, the cam locks. Once you get those off, the first thing they want to do is try to stretch apart. And I finally got that one down there on the bottom, and I was literally just getting ready to tension it right here, and I heard pop, and both of these jumped off the tooth. So 2 hours later, got everything off, got it redone, retorqued, good to go now. So on to the timing chain cover. We're going to let that skin over for a minute, and then stick it on and move on.
2,000 years later.
Midnight, June 1st. It's Tuesday. Let me get out of the wind because this camera sucks when it comes to wind. The moment of truth. Full top end rebuild, head redone, all new timing components on the front, 2 new chains, all the guides, all the gaskets, seals, everything in place on the back end here with the turbo. And I'm going to disconnect the ignition coil, so I'm going to crank it over for probably 10-15 seconds to make sure that I've got oil pressure. I do not want to start this thing up without oil pressure on it and take a chance on that tensioner not keeping everything in sync, keeping everything in time. So I'm going to get these coils disconnected, crank it up, and get that out of the way, and then I'll bring you guys back when I'm ready to fire it over. You see one of 2 things: it's either going to run, or I'm going to throw a torque wrench through that windshield. Alright, stand by. cranking noises. It sounds like it's cranking okay.
Yeah! Hey. Yeah!
Fuck yes!
Woo-hoo! Good job, baby.
Holy shit! Holy shit, it's fucking running.
Yeah.
Alright. Even sounds like it's supposed to. Alright. Change the oil, get some coolant topped off, and go for a test drive. Awesome. Alright, let's do it again. I tell you, I've never had a challenge mechanically like this. This is the biggest one I've faced so far. The complexity of these 4-cylinder twin overhead cam electronically controlled engines is something else. I learned so much. I spent hours and hours on the forums getting this thing broken down, getting it to the point to where I needed it to be, to find out what was wrong with it. I mean, yeah, I had some issues with the pistons. There were some, I think I'll throw some pictures up. I think I took some pictures of the pistons where they just have some little tiny nicks in them. There was no catastrophic contact other than, you know, the valves, the exhaust valves that were bent and the intake valves that were bent. But other than that, you know, it's idling nice. It's about 1200 right now. We're gonna wait for it to warm up, get some coolant in it, and see how it behaves. I want to take it for a ride. It's already 12:30. Got work tomorrow. I've got the hood off of it. I've got all the plastic under the bottom, the air dams and stuff off, but I really want to take this thing for a test drive. I've got so many hours in it and so much effort in it. I've got my ODB Fusion. I'm going to hook it up and see what my engine error codes are. It's got something going on. I can imagine with all the crap that I had unhooked, sensors and misfires from cranking it with no ignition, I'm sure it's just full of shit right now. So I'll hook it up and make sure that there aren't any active alarms or active codes that I need to look at. I'm watching the temperature come up. I did install a new engine temperature coolant temperature sensor when I had everything broken down. It's under the intake, which is a pain in the butt to get to. So I'm really tickled. It's got a little stall to it, but it's got to relearn everything, right? It's got to assimilate and figure out the fuel mixture and the O2 sensors and the temperature and everything else. So I can tell you, I am stoked. Hopefully it's going to have a good, solid, happy ending. Everything looks awesome right now. It sounds great. I've got no leaks anywhere. I've got no funny smells. What a challenge. All right, enough of that. Let's get this thing on the road. Peace. All right, there she is. Got everything back on. Got all the plastic underbody stuff, whatever that is. Everything set up there. And I'm gonna take her first trip. We'll see what happens. I want to put some air in the tires. I was getting a low tire pressure, which sucks. So let me take care of that and we'll get on the road. Alright, let's see what kind of codes we're getting here. I'll turn the key on, hang on a second. Yep. Alright. Connect. Interface. Cooling system performance, camshaft position, advanced stir system performance. Let's see. Alright. I drove 28,119 miles. 28,120 miles with my cooling temperature sensor malfunctioning. And let's see. 40,000 miles since the last DTCs were cleared. Alright, I'm going to clear trouble codes. Yes. All gone. So, alright, let's turn the key off. And in this wrong hand, then hang on. Alright, now reconnect. Alright, no codes detected. Let's see what happens when we crank her up. Gone! Man, she used to rattle like a diesel when I started her up. And that was smooth. Alright. Trip number 1. Let's see what happens. I'll bring you back. Alright, boys. And ladies. Going on my, what's this? Wow. Some mail call envelopes up there I need to get to that have been in here forever. I completely forgot about. Apparently I was going to do a mail call at some point in the past. Well, it's a whole 4 hours later, 7:30. Well, not 4 hours later. I finally got to sleep last night about 3. This morning about 3. Shakedown went fine. And time to take it for my first commute back and forth to work. It's about 100 miles. I cleared the codes. And let's see what happens. No more rattle on startup. That's nice. It's nice and quiet. Thing used to rattle like a diesel when it started. I always thought it was normal, just building up oil pressure. Alright. We're gonna let her rip, see what happens. Woo!